Good afternoon, Lesser Saints of Discord. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, we've
That's all
got
my
issues
energy for the day. Oh, I didn't know that you put a record so far for food ramblings.
I'm pretty sure since we started recording the record, I think the most we've gone is 6 months.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So, I have to renew my license.
No.
Yeah. You know, when it rains, it pours. It's all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't I know it.
And there's a licensing office relatively close to me for me to do it at. But my choices are, it's like a 10 to 15 minute drive or an hour-long bus ride.
Rimshee,
Yeah.
we have no video feed from Jables.
Oh, yeah.
We know.
Oh, I'm frozen.
Yeah, Jables is all kinds of fucked. Yeah, it wasn't
Well,
something I could
Jables
fix
didn't
on
know
my
because he
end.
just said, "Oh, I'm frozen."
Yeah, I thought he
There
was
we go.
still fixing it.
No, fixed it. We're good now. Sweet.
Well,
Anywho. Yeah. So I talked to my cousin. He's like, yeah, I'll just hang out with you for the day and I'll give you a ride. That's fine. Because it's not going to take long. I just have to go in, like, get a new picture taken and shit like that. But on Google, it says that office is open on Saturdays. And open, like, from 8 a.m. to, like, 2:30 p.m. I'm like, cool. That'll work. We'll go in there and do it on Saturday. And then just to double check that I didn't need anything extra, I decided to just call the office. And when I called, they're just like, our offices are currently closed. So now I'm getting mixed information on whether or not they're actually open. And I just like called up my cousin. I was like, hey, I have no way to confirm that they're open. So before you come up here to like pick me up and shit, let's just plan to do this on like Monday or something. And he's fine with that because he's taking a little staycation right now, so he's all the time. But yeah, it's really annoying when Google says that they're open and then I go to call them just to like double check on shit, and I get the
kind of goes to
automated
show
message.
how. It kind of goes to show how ubiquitous Google has become.
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Well, and everywhere else I could find, like, it said that they were open, but when I called that specific location. I didn't just call like the generic Department of Licensing website or whatever. I didn't do the generic Department of Licensing number. I called that specific location, and I got the automated message that they were closed. So I'm like, okay, not risking that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, my state you can renew your license online. However, you can't renew your you can't renew your stuff having to do with your job online. So I'm a licensed electrician. I can renew my driver's license. However, my electrician's license or state certification, whatever you want to call it, I have to physically send in paper mail through the U.S. mail and hope that they get back to me within 6 months.
Yeah. In my state, you can also renew your license online, but you can only renew your license online like every other time. So last time I did it online, so
Yeah.
this time I have to go in to get a new
Same thing
picture.
here.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Yami.
Yeah, I think mine just
Nice
waits for a
thing
certain
about
age, and then you
renewing
have to go
mine
retake the
recently.
test.
Nice thing
By the
about
way,
renewing
Yami-
mine recently is that because I'm a current resident and I haven't moved, I didn't need any documents or anything. I just had to walk in and hand over my old license.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also in a situation where, like, I'm like 99% moving soon, but I need an ID to like do things that incorporate moving and like getting jobs and stuff. I need a valid ID.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, there's a chance I'm gonna be running on that temporary for a little bit longer than I need to. By the way, Rimshee, I'm looking at this gameplay. We were so good at this game.
Yeah.
And then I think one of you died there.
It's okay. It's no lies. It's fine. It was on purpose.
Death is just a part of living.
Yeah. Especially when you're a robot. So yeah. Fun stuff. I keep getting mixed messages from the unemployment office that I am both approved and also still not approved for unemployment. So
Sounds like government.
yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a kick in the dick because starting to run pretty low on funds.
Mm.
Oh, and another thing that happened recently in my neighborhood, there's a new bar that opened up, and they're gonna start doing comedy nights at the end of this month
cool.
when I'm probably moving.
Curses.
Huh?
I said curses.
Yeah. I was gonna say racist because it's gonna be a black show, but you know.
Oh, you want to talk about racism, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't ask
We
why
can
I
talk
did that
about
accent.
racism.
I don't know.
Yeah, Y2K, it's looking like I'm moving back to Spokane. So. But yeah, let's oh, a couple things. I want to talk about John Lithgow being Dumbledore a little bit first before we talk about the new confirmed cast member.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview with John Lithgow, and he kept talking about how like he's going to work on his English accent because Dumbledore is English, Dumbledore is Scottish.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal in like the grand scheme of things when it comes to like playing Dumbledore. That's fine. That's just like a little nitpick that I personally have.
Yeah, it's something I'm not as concerned with.
Yeah. It's just something. It was just something that was eating at me over the week after I listened to an interview of him talking about it.
Although I will say, just for the memes, like somebody redubbing like Dumbledore's lines with Dankula's accent would be fucking hilarious.
Which is honestly kind of made even funnier by the fact that he thought that AI, he was safe from the AI voice synthesizers because, AI
Because
can't
of his
really
Scottish
do a
accent?
Scottish accent. Well, it turns out his Discord has
Discord
been
betrayed.
training AI on his
Wait.
voice specifically.
Yeah.
Which is like 100% Dankula's audience.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't want this to
That's
happen?
fucking
We'll make it happen.
You ruin everything.
Yeah. Y2K. My problem isn't that he's going to do like an English accent or anything. It's just he just needs to know that Dumbledore's Scottish. That's it. So yeah, let's go to the new confirmed cast member for Snape.
Wrong browser.
Yep.
Yeah, Papa Isadu, or however you say his name. I'll learn it eventually. But it's a new name for me, so give me a break on that one. Now, we've briefly talked about this before. And I stand by my previous statements. I don't mind if they race swap some characters. Lavender Brown, no physical description, totally race swap. Severus Snape is very specifically described in the books, multiple times in the books, in just about every book.
And he's one of the single most pivotal characters to the entire story.
Yes. And on top of that, HBO is like, no, we want to make a series that's extremely book accurate.
Well,
Then don't.
that didn't last long.
2 casting choices. Oh, Yami, JK isn't having any influence over the casting right now. John Lithgow wouldn't have been hired if JK had control over casting. This is all HBO.
You know, this isn't the same situation like what HBO did with House of the Dragon with the Valerians.
Yeah.
Because at least in the on-screen continuity, the Valerians had never been depicted before. So you can kind of get away with it. The people who read the books weren't happy about it, and that's understandable, but it worked in the context of the film adaptation.
And Yami, you're not wrong. JK does take her creative liberties and says she said things that she didn't say in the books. And like when she said Hermione can be black, I never said she was white. And it's like Hermione has alabaster skin and buck teeth and curly hair.
You wrote that.
Let's see what alabaster
You wrote that.
means.
Yeah.
Very pale.
I'm more than willing to shit on JK. I don't care about that. I think she's lost control of this series. I think it belongs to the people now, personally. But yeah, this is not good casting. It's just not good casting for Snape for several reasons. One reason is now you have Harry's dad and his group of friends who are all white bullying the shit out of a lonely black child.
Yeah, that's going to be awkward.
You also have him being Snape also makes it a black man that feels disenfranchised and joins a gang to murder people.
Someone didn't think
not just
things
any
through.
gang.
This is what we know now.
Not just
it is
any
the
gang, though.
murder
A
gang
supremacist murder gang.
Yeah. Yes.
That's all about heritage and purity of blood.
You now have a black man calling Muggle-born students mudbloods, which that is a whole allegory about how the N-word is used against black people, and now you're going to create a racist black person.
They exist anyway, but...
The implications of making Severus Snape black is a lot worse when you really think about the full storyline.
Yeah, like even the connotations that could be brought up with Lily Potter, where it's just like, oh, she couldn't have been seen with no black man. She had to marry a proper white wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. There's a lot of implications that happen by making Snape black that are not so bad if you just let him be white.
Oh, it might be worth watching just to see how bad it gets.
And the thing is that we know why this happened. We know.
Yeah.
This was done deliberately.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of, but what if he's the best person for... I don't fucking believe you anymore.
So yeah, Snape I am a firm believer, best person for the job, but at some point you gotta question if that's really what they're going for. I think we're at that point!
Snape grew up in a poverty-stricken area, got bullied for being poor, and then joins a supremacist gang that legitimately wants to commit genocide and enslave everybody that
his
can't
childhood
use magic.
His childhood friend, the woman he loved, ended up marrying one of his biggest tormentors.
Yeah. The implications are not good.
It's just...
And this is all regardless of how Snape is described physically in the books.
Like, through the original books, the movies, every piece of media, every piece of merchandise related to the character, his look is established.
Yeah.
Even people who aren't like major fans of Harry Potter, like if they've just been culturally aware at all in the last 20 to 30 years, you say Severus Snape, and they immediately get a mental picture of who that is.
Yeah, vampire-ish looking white guy. It's
not this guy. That's for sure.
And not to mention, you're setting him up for failure because he's going to be compared to Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
And that's hard
Yeah.
enough as is, without all of the other implications that we pointed out.
You know, like, once again, we have Hollywood taking an actor, and as soon as they get any kind of backlash, which they know they're going to get, again, they did this deliberately, they're going to throw him to the fucking wolves.
Yeah.
Or they're
it's
going to
not
rally
fair.
around, oh, it's because he's black.
And like I said before, make Neville black. I don't give a shit. But Snape, kind of like,
You know, like,
he's potentially one of the most important characters in the entire series, and you're
yes.
fucking with shit. And Neville is also
Like, I
a very
would say
important
that,
character
like-
in the entire series, but like the implications of Neville being black doesn't have the same effect as Snape being black.
Like, to draw a comparison between, like, another thing that I really like, that being Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Snape is about as important to the success of Voldemort's downfall as Samwise Gamgee is to the destruction of the One Ring. It does not happen without him.
Also, Jables, real quick. If Neville is black, his parents were killed by gang violence. Some of the same arguments you're having about Snape.
Yeah, but they
No,
were some
like,
of the good ones.
It's
Not
even
necessarily
worse,
the best
you know?
look.
Because
Well, no, actually, Neville's parents didn't die.
Rimshee.
Yeah.
They got their minds broken.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
tortured to insanity. They didn't
Yeah,
die.
that's even worse.
Yeah. They were left fucking mute and catatonic.
But his mom would give him like gum wrappers when he would visit them for Christmas, and that was cute. It's really sad. That's actually a really sad scene in the books.
It's incredibly fucking sad. The books got really fucking dark.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, Yami. They're not gonna make Malfoy a girl. They're just gonna make Malfoy a love interest. No change.
Oh god, I hate you. Fucking hate you.
Oh, they're gonna make Malfoy the fucking Helga Pataki of of Harry Potter.
Oh god, no! I hate that I immediately knew what the fuck you were talking about.
Hey, oh no.
Yeah, that's exactly
damn
what
it.
I thought. That's exactly what I thought. And I had to double check to see if I knew exactly what you. I could see that. That would. You know, the more I hear about this,
Lovingly
the more I
whispering
think
to
I
a
wanna watch
locket
it.
when he thinks Crab and Goyle aren't looking. Oh god.
The more I hear about this shit show, the more I'm like, maybe I should watch it. This sounds like comedic gold in the exact way they don't mean.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give the show like a fair chance. I'm not. It's just they're making some weird choices, and I don't like that.
But they're like, it's not. They say it's not a weird choice. It was a deliberate choice.
No.
They did this on purpose. They knew what they were fucking doing.
You know? They'll make
And
their
the
claims
fact
as
that
to
they
what they
did
were
it
doing.
makes me really think that production might already be in trouble. Because if they're going for controversy already to get attention on the project, that's a bad sign.
You don't need that with Harry Potter. There's fucking Harry Potter theme parks on both coasts. Like, stop. You got a dedicated fan base. People are gonna watch it. people are going to be critical of it, for sure. I'm going to try going into
I'm
it
saying
with,
more in the case,
an
like,
open mind.
There might already be a mindset on the production side where they feel like they have ass on their hands. So they're already trying to run damage control.
Yeah.
They're already trying to deflect the incoming blame.
I want to
you
watch
can
that
be goofy
again.
and whimsical.
You know, like, when it's an established character, an iconic character, known the
Possibly
world over.
the second most important character.
Yeah, after the protagonist,
Yeah.
arguably gets more of the stuff that actually brings Voldemort done down than Harry does.
Yeah.
While having to ruin his reputation with everyone in the process, which he does willingly.
Yeah, and specifically tells Dumbledore, nobody can know, ever. And Dumbledore's like, I'll never let people see the best side of you. Like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
because it would ruin everything.
Yeah.
It would ruin the plan entirely.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
even
I
when,
was
like-
talking with somebody... Go ahead.
Like in the beginning of the 6th book, and they have it in the movie as well. Snape is talking to Bellatrix and Narcissa, and he legit straight up says to their face, I have fooled one of the greatest wizards of all time into believing that I'm on their side. He's talking
And he
about
was
Voldemort.
not talking about Albus.
Yeah, exactly. Like that is
that
such
was
a
beautiful.
That is such
I
a
love
fucking
that scene.
killer line. Like, and also at that point, they're making us think he's talking about Albus too. That's the kick in the pants about that one. But yeah.
You know, like, I'll just hold that up to anyone. It's like, oh, J.K. Rowling couldn't really write that well. No, fuck you.
Also, she already had Snape's entire storyline fleshed out for the rest of the series. When they were doing the movies, Alan Rickman asked her, like, book 1... When they were doing the first movie, Alan Rickman straight up asked her, like, hey, I need to know how this character is going to end, because he just, like, noticed some shit in the script that was like, there's more to this character. And he was the only one who knew, other than her.
Well, yeah, because Alan Rickman was an incredibly intelligent actor.
Yeah, and then he knew the ending of Snape and put all of that into all of the other performances throughout the series. You know what I mean?
But
I expect
I have
nothing
got
of
to
the
make
show.
people... Like, I have got to make the audience fucking hate me whenever they see me on screen, so it's all the more tragic when it finally comes to conclusion.
Yeah.
But he was a delight to watch, mainly because it was Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
But, like, I was talking with somebody about this issue earlier in a different Discord, and this is where I'm kind of like trying to head off any bullshit, brainless commentary. It's like, you wouldn't be complaining, the only reason you're complaining is because it's a white character. No. Untrue. Incorrect. I would be pissed if they tried to cast some pasty-ass white motherfucker to be Blade. No fucking way.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. Let's stick in the Harry Potter universe. If they made Lee Jordan, Dean Thomas, or Kingsley Shacklebolt white, I'd also be frustrated about that.
Yeah. Why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, don't get it twisted. As I'm drinking a twisted
It's like, oh,
tea.
we're going to recast Shaft as a Korean person. I'm sorry, what? The fuck you mean you're going to make Shaft not black?
We're gonna cast Shaquille O'Neal as a short white guy in his biopic.
Yeah. And like I said, there are so many characters in Harry Potter that you can race swap. I'm fine with that. This is one that
Or
just
it's like
it makes it look really bad.
Yeah, take a step back and look at the character before you do something.
Yeah, it's like you're taking one of the most important characters in the series, one of the most beloved characters in the series, and you're making a decision that you know for a fact is going to piss off the fan base.
Yeah. Like I said, though, like Neville Longbottom, also a beloved character, also a very important character, especially towards the end. Because the character growth with Neville is insane in the books, at least.
And the other thing is,
but if you make him black, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that.
you don't have to be tied strictly to the books in your adaptation. Like the video that I shared with Jables was talking about. It's like, like seeing as how this is a television series, and you're going to have a lot more time than they did with the movies. It's like, why not create your own original characters to help flesh out the cast, or like do little side stories with? You could do that if you had any creativity, but you don't.
Present the non-evil side of Slytherin.
Well, they don't need to, they don't even need to make new characters. They don't need to make new original characters. For one, there's already black characters. Give Lee Jordan gets hardly any screen time in the fucking movies. He's Fred and George's best friend.
Yeah,
and
you could expand on him very easily.
Yeah, expand on him. You can raise... There's a lot of other students that are not physically described at all. Make them whatever race you want. I don't give a fuck. It's like...
There's so much more that you could have done. So many better things. And you chose not to.
Yeah.
And my condolences to the actor in advance. Because they're going to throw you up as a shield when it all goes to shit.
Yeah, you're just you're just there to protect the studio.
You're there to call... You're there so that they can call everybody that has a problem with it racist. That's why you're there. And I'm sorry about that. Papa, you deserve better. I've seen some of your acting stuff. You're a pretty good actor. And I think you can do the role. I just think this isn't the role for you to do.
Well, yeah, it's just like the fact that it was a
and I'm sure he'd do great. I'm sure he'd bring all of his talent and everything and do he would do his absolute best. I do not deny that. I'm just saying he's the wrong person.
That's not why he's there, though.
Yeah. No, he's there to call the fans racist.
Yep.
He's there so the studio can call the fans racist. Not that he's going to call the fans racist, but he's there so the studio can call the fans racist when they don't like the show.
Which, if he does call the fans racist, sorry, pal, but that's going to lower my esteem of you. Just saying.
There's going to be a lot of people hurling racist shit at him, so I'm not going to necessarily hold that against him too much.
Well, either way, there's going to be a bunch of people hurling racist shit.
There's always going to be those people on the internet.
Yeah.
Those people just exist in general.
Yeah.
But, I'm talking about like the actual criticism that's coming from it, especially the criticism that's coming from a lot of black people that gets completely fucking ignored by Hollywood. They just pretend that these people don't exist.
Yeah, in the video that Sir showed me, it's just like there's like a whole like 5 minute section of that video where it's just a bunch of black people like, no, Snape is a dirty, greasy white dude. And they're mad
Well,
about
like
it.
that. What one of those guys is like, stop fucking doing this to us. Stop fucking
Yeah.
pandering to us and talking down to us. Stop giving us your fucking scraps and leftovers and hand-me-downs. This isn't representation. It's fucking insulting.
Yeah, this feels very similar to the conversations we've had about like strong female leads.
A man in a dress is not a strong female lead.
Huh?
No, I'm saying like you basically write a man and then you put that character in a female body. A man in a dress is not a strong female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ripley is a strong female lead. Sarah Connor is a strong female.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 is a strong female lead. She's a little bitch in the first one. Let's be honest here. But then she had the growth to be.
She gets her courage to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
she's thrown. To be fair, she doesn't know the situation she's in until partway through, and
well, yeah, she's just a waitress. She's a waitress at a diner.
You can't. The fact that she's able to hold up as well as she does is what makes her a strong female lead in that.
And she has one of the most badass one-liners in science fiction horror history. You're terminated, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing in that video is like they always depict like dark-skinned characters as like hyper aggressive and stuff.
Or gay.
Or gay. Yeah.
Really, really gay.
Yeah, it's like one end of the spectrum or the other. There's no
either the stereotypical gay best friend or you're the warlord ready to take out the entire world.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with that, but it's such bullshit. I felt like we had that video talks about a lot about how like it felt like there was a lot of better representation in like the 90s.
Absolutely.
They brought up
Hell,
like
even in
family
the
matters.
80s.
They brought up like family matters, like just a family. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, yeah, Will Smith was like rapping and working and like thinking about stealing shit and things like that, but like that's a South Philly trait. Rest of the family was just, rich lawyer family.
Yeah, he went from
West Philadelphia,
South Philly,
born and raised on the playground. Is where he spent most of his days.
Yeah, he went from Philly to fucking Bel Air. Of course, he's gonna have a different viewpoint. It wasn't because he's black; it's because of where he's from.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Like arguably the most entertaining character in the first 4 Rocky movies is Apollo Creed.
Oh yeah.
And if you disagree, you're wrong.
Oh man, I just thought of that one scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when his dad leaves.
Oh man,
that one.
Yeah. Oof. And like that was because they were all at the time. Like, that was filmed in front of a live studio audience. You could hear a fucking pin drop during that scene.
Yeah. That's another show I got
especially that final part. And Will did such an amazing job in this scene. That final part where his voice is breaking, he's just like, "How come you don't want me, man?"
Well, no, that was I've seen some interviews. Will Smith was like, "Oh no, that was a real thing." Like I thought about my actual dad at that point, and it's like, Yeah, and then when
But
the guy that
that's what
played
actors do.
When James Avery, the guy that played Uncle Phil, like hugged him, he whispered in Will's ear at that moment. He's like, "That's acting."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very sweet moment on several different levels, and like,
Even as a person who has a good relationship with their father, like watching that scene, I'm
hard
just
to
like,
watch.
fuck.
oh
Oh man, that sucks.
Oh,
yeah, like my dad's been around. My dad's been there for me, but I understand what that feeling is because I can think of like, what if he wasn't? And I'm like, oh man. I'm kind of tearing up right now just thinking about it. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
I'd
I
be
get it from
completely screwed
from
without my
two
old man.
perspectives now.
Completely.
I get to think about it from two perspectives now.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you're a dad.
Yeah. Like my son walked up to me, like Jables heard this. He walked up and he tapped on my arm and said, "Dad," and wanted me to follow him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to not be able to experience that.
Yeah. And never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't know if you want more details shared on stream or anything.
Yeah, nah, let's not.
Alright. Cool. I'm glad I stopped myself. So. But yeah, it was a very sweet moment. It picked up on the mic too, and I got to hear it. It was actually really nice. Yeah.
Like, I think everyone currently watching knows, but, you know, we do leave this on VOD.
Yeah. Alright. Doesn't matter. Move on. It feels like representation was just, like, better in the 80s and 90s. And...
Well, back when you actually looked at it for what it was, as opposed to, this is what it should be!
No, it's not about what
I'm just
going
gonna
to
say
it's
this.
About, it's Sarah
I'm just gonna say
Connor-
this right now. Representation is not representation when it's a fucking checklist.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sarah Connor is a strong female lead because she's a well-written character. Not because she's a female in a movie and is the lead. She's a strong female lead because her character in the storyline made her that way. Ripley, strong female lead.
Scared
Because
shitless
the-
throughout
yes.
the first two
Story-
movies.
Justifiably so.
The story demanded her being... She had no choice but to be
You want
strong.
juice? Okay.
We need to watch those movies so you can speak on that point with authority.
All right.
But
Hermione
you know, like
Granger,
another like
Hermione Granger is a strong female character, and also, fuck you, Chris Columbus, and whoever made the third movie. Hermione didn't need all of Ron's lines. Hermione is a strong female character all on her own. Minerva McGonagall, strong female character. Snape
he was my favorite professor, probably.
Snape was a dueling champion. He was well rehearsed in the arts of dueling, and in the 7th book, Minerva McGonagall steps out in front of Harry and duels Snape. That is a ballsy fucking move. That is a strong female character. Shout out McGonagall. Rest in peace, Maggie Smith. Best McGonagall that will ever exist. Yeah.
McGonagall is a badass. Period.
Like, people like Hermione made one of the hardest, most heartbreaking decisions of any of the main cast when she willingly chose to let her parents forget her to protect them.
Oh, no, she didn't just do that. So what actually happens in the books is
Yeah, I know, but
she not only erases herself from their memory entirely, but she sends them on vacation to Australia. So they're like well out of the country and just gone. And they don't remember her at all. Fun fact, she does go to Australia and find them and restore their memory. She does restore their memory later.
It took to do that.
She does restore their memory later. But yeah. No, just like to protect her parents. She's like, you can't remember me because if anybody finds you, we're all fucked and you're fucked.
And this is with the full knowledge that she very well could be killed in the upcoming conflict, and they'll have never known the difference if that happens.
Yeah. And she also wasn't 100% sure that she was going to be able to restore their memories either. So even if she wasn't killed, she wasn't sure that she was going to be able to restore their memories. That is
so effectively she went in expecting to never be remembered again by her parents.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is a major thing.
She was like
missing in a lot of protagonists these days in Hollywood.
She was like 50 to 60% sure that she could restore the memories, but she wasn't.
That's still 40 to 50%.
That's still close to a coin
unsure.
flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically still a coin flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was just saying was
that's
one of the major problems with like not just female characters, but like protagonists in like Hollywood movies lately in general, is that there is no sense of self-sacrifice. It's just absent.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be major obvious self-sacrifice either. It could be something that you have to think about down the line, such as making her parents forget about her with Hermione. But it's just missing.
Even with Jables, mentioning McGonagall, like, she stands up to Snape, like, puts herself in the line of fire to duel him, knowing his reputation, because her student is there. And she is going to protect him with her life, if that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. We find out later Snape was never going to hurt her. But, still.
Yeah, why?
Obviously, but
she didn't know that.
It's not necessarily what happens or what would have happened. It's what the protagonist thinks at the time.
Yeah, the intentions and like everything.
And sometimes.
Yep. And another thing.
Go ahead.
Another great thing that happened in Harry Potter, which I could also say is a problem that you see a lot with modern Hollywood, is that modern Hollywood hates the concept of women being moms or being motherly in general.
Yeah, Molly Weasley, fucking goat.
Yeah, she gets up to arguably one of the most dangerous witches on the planet. It's just like, not my daughter, you bitch.
Yeah. Not my daughter, you bitch. She put a lot of emphasis in
And
that B on bitch too.
it was so great. But yeah,
It's
like,
one of my favorite
even though
scenes in
she
the
was
entire
clearly
miniseries.
the underdog there, she, through motherly instinct and like must protect all that is precious to me, because she's already
she
lost
just
children
Mama
at this
bear
point.
energy.
Yeah, she just lost one of her sons, and like
Yeah.
and in the
And she
books,
kills Bellatrix Lestrange.
it's also described in the books, like one of the reasons why they had so many kids is because Molly wanted a daughter so bad.
And Ginny was the only one.
Ginny was the only one, and the last child that they had. Yeah, and so like with the context of the books, that scene hits even harder because that's like
Yeah.
shit.
Because we're
7
talking
fucking
about
kids.
an
Yeah,
individual
she went
in
straight.
Bellatrix who is responsible for mass murder, who trained Aurors, would be very cautious to even think about dueling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went
And
in with
Molly's just
straight
like,
up
"Nope,
mama
it's
bear
on,
energy.
bitch."
You ain't getting out.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Molly Weasley, I'm sorry I didn't toss you into my list on that one. That's my bad. That scene slipped my mind for a
Yeah.
minute.
Fantastic character. Love Molly.
Yeah, but there's also the flip side of that, like good male characters, like the Weasley's dad in the
Arthur.
second movie. Yeah, yeah, in the second movie when they fly the car to Harry's place and like break him out, and then they get back, and then Molly's like, "Your sons drove the car to Surrey and back," and he's like, "Oh, really? How'd it go?" I'm sorry, I'm very disappointed in you boys. Like, that's such a
Love Arthur.
that's such a dad thing. Just,
Really? Did it go that? How'd it run? Bad. How'd it run?
say what you will about J.K. Rowling's writing, she writes great characters that are like,
I can't remember like what the exact context was. I know it was with Arthur in one of the movies, where like he gets this feeling that like something's fucking off, and he just immediately pulls out his wand and is just like, "Get behind me."
yeah,
He's ready.
yeah.
He
That
nearly
was
gets killed at one point.
that was in the 5th one.
That's right.
Yeah, because that's when they try to lure Harry out into the field, and then they blow up the burrow. Oh, and also in the books, in the second book, Arthur gets into a straight up fist fight with Draco's dad in a bookstore.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because
Lucius was running his fucking mouth.
oh yeah, Vampire. I think you're right. I think that was the 4th one. Never mind, not the 5th one. But yeah, the second book. Yeah, they get in a fight at the bookstore because Lucius Malfoy was just being such a cunt. And like talking down on Muggleborns and stuff like that, and Hermione was there, and like Arthur's like, "I'm not having this." Nah,
Nope.
I'm also a pureblood wizard, you little bitch.
My whole fucking family is. You may look down on us like we're Muggle born, but Delightfully hateable, Lucius Malfoy. He's such a weasel.
Vampire, I see. Based on all the evidence in the books, there's no evidence that it was somebody using polyjuice potion to be Lucius. So I do not accept that conspiracy theory. And trust me, I'm very much one to dig into conspiracy theories.
And yeah, it's like Arthur, usually not very confrontational individual. Lucius Malfoy is just that much of a fucking prick.
Yeah. And also defending one of his son's friends at the same time. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing that frustrated me about the movies is, like, in the second one of the Ron lines that they gave to Hermione was, after Draco called Hermione a mudblood,
Mm-hmm.
Hermione says what it is. And realistically, that's probably the first time she's heard the word. And the reason why Ron tried to get Draco to eat slugs
Immediately tries to fucking hex him.
Yeah, was because he knows what that means. It's a fucking slur.
Yeah, and Ron's mentality is like, there ain't no fucking way you just said that to her in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah. They should have left that line with Ron, because Ron, in the books, Ron is like Hermione and Harry's information about the Wizarding World, because Ron grew up in it. So, like, he's filling them in on all this shit.
Yeah, like,
But
I didn't like, especially in the earlier movies, that Ron was kind of just like, oh, he's just kind of like the dopey, cowardly sidekick. And I'm like, that's not really who he is, though.
It's not Ron. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, and I know that.
yeah. Yeah, it's just because like David Yates and Chris Columbus loved Hermione so much as a character, and then they just kept giving all of Ron's lines, and they're like, "Yeah, no, Ron will just be the comedic relief." It's like no, but like
they should have been a trio, and they should have been equal.
Ron is comedic relief for sure. I'm not gonna take that away from him, but he also knows about the Wizarding World. He's teaching his Muggle-born friend and his friend that was raised by Muggles about the Wizarding World. That's his job. And he's comedic relief. He can be both.
Yeah, and I said, his comedic relief in the books is mainly to do with his sense of humor. Because look at who his older brothers are.
Exactly. All six of them.
He doesn't have to be the moron herder character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why are you always
that's
eating?
They kind of make Ron a country bumpkin a bit in the movies, and I never appreciated that.
Yeah, he's actually a very capable person.
Like, the only thing that they gave him, really, that hints at his intelligence, the fact that he is intelligent and actually very analytical in his thinking, is the fact that he's really good at chess.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't give that to Hermione.
Well, yeah, it would have fucked up the whole end of the first book.
Yeah.
First movie.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Vampire, swallow those words. Ron has a great sense of humor. I think you're confused because Fred and George have such a superior sense of humor that it sort of shadows Ron's sense of humor.
Wait, are you talking about in the books or in the movies? Vampire.
Both. Oh, I'm talking about both.
I know you're talking about both.
Yeah, like Fred and George is to a further extreme than Ron, but Ron is by no means lacking in
Fred and George.
regard.
Fred and George aren't bullies. You've never read the books if you think Fred and George are bullies. I can understand how you could get that idea from the movies, but you never read the books if you think they're bullies. They're pranksters,
Yeah,
for
in
sure.
the movie, they're kind
They're
of
twins
more assholes.
They're twins that have a similar mentality to Dankula.
I wouldn't even go that far because Dankula kind of bullies quite a bit. No, like in the books, they're pranksters. Going too far doesn't make you a bully. Every time in the books that they have gone too far, they've consoled the person that they went too far, and I'm like, sorry, like and then they try to make it
acknowledge
right.
immediately when they fucked up.
Yeah, that doesn't make them bullies. That makes them taking their pranks a little too far, and that's not. No, a bully implies maliciousness, and they're not malicious.
That was another thing I didn't really like about their personalities in the movies, is that they're kind of shown as being, like a bit mean-spirited and like also dismissive of Ron at times.
Yeah.
Whereas in the books, it's like, if you were fucking around with Ron and Fred and George found out about it, they'd ruin you.
No, we fuck around with Ron. You don't. That's our brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vampire, going too far doesn't make you like, I think I've done this to both of you before, where, like, I've told a joke that has gone too far. I'm not entirely sure with Rimshee. I know I've done it with you, sir, in the past. But, like, immediately I was like, was that too far?
Where I was just like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
you also know that there are very few things you can go too far on with me. Like, I think it's my son, and my son, my wife.
I've pushed, but I've definitely pushed the limits with you before, and like
you've
the line.
Come close. I've told you you've come close, but I don't think you've actually passed him.
But yeah, but I think the only time that you majorly kind of upset me.
Are you muted, or is sound just not getting to me?
Because.
Oh, that's weird. I'm not getting any sound. But you guys are talking and you guys can hear it.
Yeah,
Damn it, Rimshee. No, like, Jables, the only time that you've actually really, like, upset me to any degree was when we were doing the show and both of you guys were kind of pushing on the complex that I have about receiving gifts.
Fixed it.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, that was bullying. I'm not... But that would... Yeah. Hold on. I need to check the stream to make sure that our audio is coming through.
Your audio is... It should be.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you were lighting up on Discord, and I muted my mic. I pulled out my earbud, and I listened, and your voice started coming through, so it was definitely that earbud.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Yeah, but Vampire, like, bullying implies some sort of malice or something like that. And Fred and George, they were just pranksters. And, like,
Yeah.
they would,
Like Crab and Goyle are bullies.
yeah. Yeah, they're brutes and they're bullies. They're assholes.
Part of it's because they're fucking stupid, but
Yeah. Also,
They
you have
have
to
no brain.
you have to define, like, where did they go too far? Like, I can only think of a
that was
couple
one of the
scenarios
funniest
where
lines.
I can only think of, like, a couple scenarios where, like, Fred and George's pranks hurt somebody's feelings and they just immediately afterwards, like, tried to make it right. And they just were like, sorry, like, we were just pranking, we were just fucking around.
That reminded me,
Our
though,
bad.
of one of the funniest lines from the movies. Like when, like Harry is under disguise with the polyjuice potion, and he forgot to take his glasses off.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you could read.
And then, that was so fucking funny.
You know that was improv?
I did not.
I could imagine it.
Yeah, that was, yeah, Tom Felton just improv that one. And they just kept it
And
in
he
the
said
movie.
it so fucking convincingly. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Bro's getting booked and he's not even there for it.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Vampire, I want you to take it back that saying Fred and George are bullies. Because that's not what it is. And if you don't take it back, I'll take away your moderator role.
Jables and his fucking disappointed dad arc.
I'll take away your PlayStation for a week.
Yeah.
A joke can go too far without causing you to be a bully. Intent really does matter there.
Yeah.
Regardless of what some psychopaths would try to tell you.
Yeah, and yeah, I use myself as my own example. Like, I go too far sometimes, but I immediately like, ah, shit, I think I went too far. You okay? You good? Like,
I'm never okay, Jables. Which is
well,
why it's so hard to go too far with
Yeah,
me.
you're like, when
I
it
was about to
happened
say
with me, is
something
like I have extremely thick skin. It's very hard to bother me. But that one time where Jables did manage it with Rimshee's help, he immediately DM'd me. It's like, hey, I didn't mean for it to go like that. Are we good?
yeah,
And like, I'm not happy about what just happened, but yeah, we're good.
yeah. There's times like I get caught up in the moment, and then I just take things a bit too far. But I still recognize it in the moment. But it's also, I understand that it's also really entertaining, so it's hard for me to stop in the moment.
There's a reason insult comics exist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to stop in the moment, but I will always check in. Yeah, I've done that to Rimshee too, where like I DM'd him. Or sometimes you guys go too far on certain stuff, and I'll DM you and be like, hey guys, I don't, you know.
I can't remember what it was about, but I remember one time where I made you think you went too far, and then you DM'd me up, and I'm like, oh no, that was for the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that one time too.
Yeah, I remember. Oh,
What?
Why, sir? Yeah. Yeah, I also remember like certain situations.
I'm gonna DM. Is everything okay? Did we go too far?
Yeah. 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 Hold on. I'm gonna DM him that too.
Discord, what the fuck are you doing?
Jables, your mic is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, pardon me, your camera's off.
Oh no. Where's
Dable's
this guy?
camera went down. I got kicked.
Anyhow. Yeah, but there were even times like I remember in the earlier days of doing the show when I was doing a lot more of the like I'm a dumbass sort of bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'd have a talk with you and Rimshee like, hey, can we kill this bit? Because it's like, I know you guys don't mean it, but it's starting to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I remember that conversation where you're just like, it's like I'm starting to think that people might actually are believing that I'm stupid, and I really don't want that actually.
Yeah, it's yeah, people are thinking that this is real, and I'm not doing this as a bit, and I don't like that. Can we quit this for a while and maybe pick it up again another time? But like, for the time being, I'm just like, I feel like the audience is
we
taking
all
it
play up.
seriously.
We all play up a little bit. Like most of the time, I'm not nearly as like agitated as I might sound on the show. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm legitimately pissed when I'm ranting, but
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Jables is
Y2K
stupid was a bit Y2K.
Yeah.
like a notable example, when I was arguing with Pav about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, that was not played up. I was not pulling my punches in that argument.
Yeah. But yeah, Y2K, me being stupid was a full bit. You should have heard the conversations we had like before and after the show. It was like, all right, I'm gonna do this really stupid thing, just so you guys know.
And sometimes he'd come up with it in the moment, and because we discussed other bits, we'd spot it right in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to pull the curtain back.
I may
on
be
you,
the
Y2K,
newest one
but
here.
That's...
Oh, Jesus.
I may be the newest one here still, but still, like, this month, like a little later this month, will mark my 5th year being a full-time showrunner. I've been doing this thing with these two for a while. Goddamn, 5 years.
My ISP is fucking us.
And I've known you guys even longer than that.
Yeah. God damn it, Rimshee.
Hey, it's not my fault that
Yeah, like, that's
OBS
been, like,
is being fucking dumb. Or maybe it's not
for anybody
OBS,
that can
maybe
still
it's
hear
Twitch.
us, it's like, that has been a running conversation that's happened between us for years now, where we've talked about, it's like, if for any reason we ever started to get like traction and like we started something like a Patreon, one of the rewards would definitely be our pre-show bullshitting. Because we say some wild shit sometimes.
Yeah.
We talk to
there's
each
also
other a bit
days
about
like today.
politics sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like how
Hold on,
much
I
Jables
just
wishes
wanna-
this was a communist utopia, and I'd much rather it be Ancapistan.
We never talked about
But
that
I
at
have
all.
to be the Chad
Rimshee's a
central.
liar on this one.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about actual politics, so I'm making shit up, Jables.
Yeah. All right. Are we
Yeah,
stable now?
very long
It
ramble.
looks like we're stabilized again.
Okay, Y2K, did you hear any of the stuff about me being dumb being a bit? I just want to check. Because that was actually a very nice conversation. And if none of that made it out on the stream,
Well,
that is
I have a
also
recording
hilarious.
to go on YouTube.
Yeah. But it's also hilarious if none of that made it out, because it feels like it was just being censored.
Well, I mean, it kind of was.
Yeah. But yeah, sir, 5 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the first show I was full-on host on.
It has to be longer than that. So
Oh, obviously.
pre-pandemic,
I think you guys have
so
been
it's at least like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
Seriously, I think the show had been going at least 2.5 years by the time I started showing up regularly.
No, I think we're maybe 2 years before you started showing up regularly.
Because I started showing up in like late January through February of 2020, and by March I had the showrunner role.
Yeah. I know Waffle wanted to leave to go
sure it
like
was
lick
March.
rocks or something within the first year, and that's when Rimshee came in.
Which is funny because that's not even a joke.
Yeah. No, he's a paleontologist.
You can tell if
He
it's a fossil by the texture.
Well, it'll stick to your tongue if it's a fossil because it's porous.
Yeah.
It is a joke,
Hey.
and it's not a joke at the same time, which makes it one of the best jokes.
Man's out there doing
Yeah.
what he loves, and I'm fucking happy for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's out there.
I just miss
he's
him,
out
is
there
all.
doing lightsaber battles and licking rocks. What a dude.
Because he's fucking brilliant. One of my favorite people in the community to talk to.
Too bad it's
Or,
been so
I should
long
say,
since
What,
we last got a
you mean to be
chance.
talked at?
Listen to.
Yeah.
No, like I have
No,
had
I
actual.
I jest. I enjoy listening to Waffle too.
Oh yeah, I could listen to the man for hours. Like one of my favorite conversations I ever had with him was like one of the few subjects that I could actually kind of like match him on in terms of knowledge. And that was when me and him talked for hours back and forth about Halo.
One of my favorite conversations with Waffle was when I pretended to not know what metaphysics was for like 2 hours. No, it's just like it's metaphysics. It's like above physics, you know.
Like Jables, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, that thing lasted for like 2 fucking hours.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear metaphysics anymore without thinking about Striegel. Dear God.
Oh god.
Listening to him get yelled at by his mom.
And get kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
It all started with me sitting by myself in VC1.
Do we still have Striegel emotes?
Do we?
I know we have a couple
I don't
memes.
see why we wouldn't.
I know we have a meme that says, "Oh no, Matthew Striegel joined."
Well,
Which
because
ones
like
were the
anytime he entered a VC, it's just like a collective migraine was initiated.
Yeah.
For some reason, we still have Sargon.
Well, that's a leftover from the Kenders
Skeptosphere
before.
days.
Yeah. By the way, Nick has been talking about starting to stream again.
He should.
You probably should.
Yeah. I keep trying to talk him into it. And this is how I try to talk him into it.
I said, even when I don't agree with Nick, which is more frequent these days than it was previously, I still like listening to the man talk.
Yeah. He has a beautiful voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, fantastic voice.
No, like I talk to him on the phone a lot. And like every time he brings up streaming, I just go, "Oh, you thinking about getting the band back together?" He's like, "Yeah, I kind I'm thinking about it." Blah blah blah. Crap, ban that person.
That
No,
that is one thing that was like, I'd like to see Nick stream. I don't know if I'd want to see him stream with Jeff though.
No, I don't want to see Nick and Jeff stream together again. I think myself and Nick streaming is a fun time. Because we'll probably just like prank call the Pentagon again or something like that. But like Jeff has gotten like pretty doomer pilled lately. So I'm not. That would not be fun.
Yeah. And that shit's not my problem anymore.
Yeah, Y2K Nick recently acted in like 2 different movies within the last year. And those should be coming out within the next 6 months. So if you want to see Nick,
And he consistently gets voice acting gigs.
Well, he was. There's some shit going on there.
Oh. I don't like to hear that.
It's one of those things
bueno.
that's sort of like an up and down. Like sometimes there's work, sometimes there's not. So like,
Kind of
yeah,
like
that's
it's
just
more in
voice
the
acting
future.
in general.
Yeah.
Voice actors don't get enough fucking work, and they don't get enough fucking credit.
Yeah. Well,
Which is something else I can blame Hollywood for. Fuck you, Hollywood, and putting people in animated films as voice actors who have no fucking business doing it.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce in
Sometimes
the
it's-
live-action Lion King remake. I don't want to listen to the bitch sing, let alone try and do voice work.
Who?
Beyonce.
Oh, her. yeah.
Beyonce.
Don't blame
She
you.
was awful in that movie.
All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
Also, not bringing back Jeremy Irons when he could still do Scar was fucking criminal.
You know. Also, yeah, Y2K. I didn't see Nick's acting trailer. Here's one problem that I have with I don't have a problem with like Nick's acting. Like when I see him in a movie or something like that, I can get invested in the character. I can't listen to Nick's voice acting stuff. It's difficult for me.
Yeah, it causes a disconnect.
Yeah. Yeah, if I see
like,
him like full body like portraying a character and stuff like that, I can do that. But if like I had to stop listening to Chilling Tales for Dark Nights because because when he was heavy doing that, that was also the same time that him and I were prank calling the Pentagon and shit. And so it's like I just prank called the Pentagon with you like 2 days ago. I can't listen to this and take it seriously.
Well, yeah, it's just like, like example of a prolific voice actor that you see in a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Johnny Young Bosch. Anytime he's in something, I immediately recognize his voice and know it's him.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is that I don't actually know Johnny. I haven't spoken to Johnny and like interacted with him as like person to person. That's not the case with Nick. It's like, oh, yeah. I've had conversations with this man. I will not be able to not see him in my head anytime I hear his voice in a voice acting role.
Yeah, like
smoking a cigarette and nurturing a glass of scotch.
when I talk to Nick on the phone, it is unusual for it to be less than an hour or two. I think the longest conversation, I think we talked for like 12 hours straight one day. But yeah, if we have a phone conversation that's less than an hour, it's like something came up and we just couldn't be on the phone at that moment.
That's it, you know. I've got no animosity towards Nick. I really don't.
Yeah.
I gave that man $700 to help him get out of where he was, and I do not regret that decision.
Yeah. And now he's in New Orleans, and I'll talk about that more off air. Because I don't know if he wants all the information out there. But
no.
I know he wouldn't mind me talking about it, but not necessarily broadcasting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Man, an hour and a half went fast.
Yeah.
I want to do this Dear Abby laundry thing. I want to talk about that.
We'll hop on that.
If you have the time, Rimshee.
Yeah, I got the time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm home alone with the kiddo watching him while the wife teaches other people's kids how to fucking act and sing
and dance. Yeah.
You know, hoping they're not bad at it, but who knows. All right.
God, Jesus. Pulled up.
I've been trying to do this for like a month.
Why is it that as soon as I pull up this page, one of their trending things is do they court Nazis ?
Possible.
The recommended for you?
Can't get away from this shit, man.
I don't see it, so that's you.
Yeah,
that's all on you, dude. What are you searching up?
I just No! It just says trending, and that's one of the things that's trending. Along with bird flu and cats. Oh shit. Somebody else is going to have to take this, actually.
Alright, Rimshee, you take it.
I gotta get up. Sorry.
Give me a moment. Alright. Dear Abby, I refuse to apologize for touching my neighbor's laundry. He's an able-bodied man and has no right to be upset about it. What does... I don't even know what this has to do with anything.
Alright, just a heads up to anybody else, if you ever live in, like, a place where I live, don't touch my laundry. But I also... the circumstances are kind of dependent on this. Because it might be understandable.
Yeah. You don't just randomly touch someone else's laundry.
I'll randomly touch your laundry. Let me, bro.
I already know you'll be going for the underwear to see what the slack in the crotch is.
Yeah. His wife won't even tell me how big his dick is. Weird.
That's a good wife. Keep him guessing. I walk with a cane and have difficulty standing since I had a bad accident. My apartment building has a laundry facility for all. Oh, a little bit of snot down the wrong tube. Sorry about that. Has a laundry facility for all with 2 washing machines. Recently, when I went to do my laundry, one washer was empty and the other had a finished load of laundry in it. The empty one rejected my payment card, so I emptied the other person's laundry into a cart so I could use the machine. The neighbor returned...
I'm not that mad about it.
The neighbor returned and was upset that I touched his laundry and didn't wait for him. When he demanded an apology, I said, write a note to the board. I don't feel obligated to teach a grown, able-bodied man what entitlement is. Your thoughts? I actually have thoughts on this because I dealt with similar stuff in the Marine Corps.
I have several thoughts on this. How long? How long did it take between the load of laundry was done and he showed up? That's one factor.
How long had it been sitting in the wash, too?
Yeah.
Like, here were the standard things while I was active duty for the laundry room. If you move someone's laundry out of the washing machine, put it in a dryer. If there's no open dryer, don't just leave it sitting on something. That's an asshole move.
Well, it was in a cart. And those carts have holes and stuff like that, so it's not like it's...
But we didn't have carts, is kind of my point.
It's not like in a puddle.
We didn't have carts, so that's why I specified the way I did. Let the load finish before you put your shit in. There have been plenty of times where people would take out laundry that wasn't even done and set it on there sopping wet.
Yeah.
And just so they could do their laundry. It was such an asshole move.
That's fucked up.
I don't know what the fuck having a cane and having difficulty standing actually has to do with this.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant to the situation. In my opinion, dude just needs to calm the fuck down.
100% irrelevant. Also, Crab, you're saying just wait until the next available spot? they tried a machine, it didn't accept their card. There's only 2 machines. So, you know,
We know it's there to get them sympathy, but it's
Yeah.
completely irrelevant.
that's why we're disregarding it entirely. I don't care about that.
I'm still on their side. Although I would say put it in a dryer.
So some people are particular about like their drying stuff though. Like there's certain things that need to be dried certain ways and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't say start it. I said put it in a dryer.
Okay. I think the cart is just as acceptable in this specific situation because it's the cart.
Yeah, keep in mind my specific viewpoint.
If you're not going to start, if you're not going to start the dryer, I think the cart is acceptable.
In my specific, the part of my viewpoint comes from my time active duty. So like,
yeah,
we didn't have carts in the laundry room.
Okay.
We
and,
also. What's up?
Y2K is also saying, having had someone take my laundry out of the machine, throw it on the floor 5 minutes after it got done, and I got there because I was timing it in college. I get really touchy about my laundry. That is fair. That person was wrong.
That situation is fair. They threw it on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
That's uncool.
In a cart that is generally relatively clean, for you to decide what you want in the dryer. I know a lot of people that hang their shirts and stuff. So I don't know what somebody else wants to do for the drying situation. Never start the dryer. Put it in the dryer if you don't have a cart. I understand that. And when somebody shows up and like, hey, I had laundry in that machine, be like, oh, yeah, I just put it in that dryer. I didn't start anything. Yeah. That's fun. But yeah, don't throw somebody's laundry on the floor. That's gross.
That's uncool.
Yeah. That
like
gives me
we would constantly start the laundry, but it's because it was almost always military clothing, and we're talking about a bunch of fucking assholes who just get in and out, don't care. We had no place we could hang laundry or anything like that, and it was literally just the simplest. Oh, you just hit start on the dryer. You just hit start on the washing machine. There was no delicate cycle or anything like that. So, but that's also a very specific situation.
Yeah, I wear plain black t-shirts and jeans. Just press start on my shit. Like,
yeah,
my stuff's
put
fine.
it on normal, press start. We're good.
Yeah. But yeah, this is in an apartment complex, and I relate to this because I live in an apartment complex where there is laundry provided, but it's one machine, and there's this one fucking cunt that'll take up the machine all fucking day. I can get 2 to 3 weeks of laundry, 2 to 3 weeks worth of laundry done in like one load, because it's socks, underwear, black t-shirts. You can rewear jeans. Don't let anybody tell you different.
You can rewear jeans for up to 6 months if you want to get technical, but it does depend on what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not dribbling piss and you're not bleeding on them or anything like that, you're pretty good on jeans. But yeah,
If you're not playing in mud,
it's socks, shirts, maybe a couple towels, and I'm good for a few weeks. And that's also because I just bought like a shit ton of the same socks, so I don't have to worry about matching anything. I don't have to worry about shit when it comes to socks. I just gotta wash them every once in a while, and I got a lot of them. But yeah, in that last line, I don't feel obligated to teach a grown, able-bodied man what entitlement is. Your thoughts? My main thoughts is, how long were they there before he came in?
Yeah, if it was literally 5 minutes, I mean, that's a timing error. That's nothing.
I give people 10 to 15 before I even start to get frustrated.
Like, if
Yeah,
your whole
'cause, you know,
complaint
like-
is you have difficulty standing, so fuck this, I'm just gonna go ahead and move forward. Are there not chairs in the laundry room?
Yeah, there has to be like some, even if there's not chairs, there has to be like some sort of like counter space you could sit on or something like that. Or
Only reason I didn't mention counter space is because given
not
that they had
necessarily.
an accident.
maybe can't
Yeah.
hoop themselves up. Just
Yeah.
That's fair. There
Yeah,
might
like,
be chairs in
sometimes
there, but you also have
Stuff
a cane.
comes up. Like, I just had to run out of the room and was gone for a bit. Didn't have much choice.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Things
Yeah,
happen.
but like I said, like 10 to 15 minutes, I think is an appropriate amount of time to wait for somebody to come and check on their laundry. Maybe they were finishing up a sandwich because they're eating lunch while they're doing laundry. You know?
Maybe they got stuck in traffic. And they knew it would take this long, so they went to the store to grab something, and on the way back, they got stuck at a red light, so they didn't get back as soon as they thought they would.
No.
Had to go and
Yeah.
check on a child.
When you
Yeah.
start going into like the 20-minute range, that's where I'm like, all right, you can take it out. That's
Like,
fine.
there's a reason I set I used to set a timer when I was doing laundry.
Yeah. Well, so the laundry that I have here, it's hard to, there's like no timer on it really, so it's kind of hard to gauge how long something's going to take.
Yeah, we didn't have that
Um,
either, but I'd still set a
yeah, I
timer
haven't-
for
I
like,
haven't-
a half hour. And I'd go check it in a half hour.
I set a timer for about like 45 minutes to an hour for the wash, and then about an hour for the dry, and I go and check on it. It takes about 2 hours to dry though, so it's like a fucking bitch.
Well, when your
Yeah.
dryer sucks.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the Mercury News says.
But
I will
you're-
say one thing, because I didn't get a chance to.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
I don't like the way the last line is delivered, because it's just like, I'm not obligated to talk to this man about what an entitlement is. It's like, yeah, and I'm not obligated to talk to you about what condescension is, but here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're acting pretty fucking entitled because you have a fucking cane, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Dear In the Wash, your neighbor is territorial about his things. Some folks are. Although he apparently returned in a reasonable amount of time, you had no idea how long he would be, and because the other washer wasn't working, you had every right to do... What the fuck?
I don't like this advice at all.
You might have cooled his standoff by giving him an apology the apology he asked for. You should write a note to the board informing them that one of the machines in the laundry room needs servicing. Like, I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time,
All right.
this is just so half-assed.
Couple points.
Oh dear God. Okay, real quick before you say this, I just saw one of these related articles. Dear Abby, my wife survived her illness and I am miserable. I am adding that to the fucking list.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. Yeah. No, if one machine isn't working, and there's already laundry in another machine, wait 10 minutes. Play some games on your phone. Fuck it. In my situation, I just go back to my apartment. I just like hang out for like 10 or 15 minutes and then I go back over there. And then generally, like, things are moved. But yeah, I don't know how far your apartment is from the laundry space, so that might be more difficult for you. But you don't need to just like immediately move shit. And if your apartment's far away, wait at least 5 minutes and let people take care of their own laundry.
You know, like my mom has cancer.
Yeah.
Has been battling it for almost 7 years. And in her apartment, the laundry room is downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
She has to go downstairs to get to it. And there's only one washer and one dryer.
Yeah. Does your mom live in my complex? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, having one washer and one dryer is pretty common because it lets them put washer and dryer on site without actually providing a reasonable washer and dryer experience.
To be fair, they did hook up another dryer and there is another washer, but the washer's not hooked up yet. So there are technically 2 dryers and 1 washer.
Yeah, but still, they will go with the minimum number. Like, oh yeah, there's a laundry room on site. Except that it's only 1 of each, or only 2 of each. Or in your case, 1 washer, 2 dryer. Yeah. You probably aren't going to be able to make a lot of use of it, but yeah, we're just going to be able to say that it's on site so that it ups our potential value.
Well, when I first moved in, it was 2 washers, 2 dryers. And like crazy shit happened and they were getting vandalized. They were coin-op washers and dryers, but they didn't actually charge us. They glued the quarters in so you could just like shakunk the thing. Which, shout out to the former owners of this complex. That was actually a pretty sweet move. But like people would break into the laundry room and try to like get the quarters out, and it's like, and they fucked up the machines. And then didn't have laundry for a long time. Now we have laundry again. Don't have to pay for it. It's not coin op. But, you know, it's irritating when there's one person in the fucking complex that'll take it up for days at a time.
Yeah, that's always annoying. When the wife and I lived in an apartment, we had a similar thing where we only had one washer, one dryer for, I think it was something like, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably around a dozen apartments.
Oh, that's more than that. There's
hmm?
like 20 apartments here.
Yeah, but we only
Yes.
had one washer and one dryer for about a dozen apartments. And it got to
Yeah.
the point where the wife and I would just Sundays were laundry day. We'd go over to my parents' house and do laundry and have dinner and just spend time with my parents. This was before we had a kid.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun just spending time with my parents, but we got to use their washer and dryer, which was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. The period of time that we didn't have a washer and dryer, there's a bar that I like that was like, it's a breakfast place and a bar. It's like kitty corner to where the laundromat is. So I just start my laundry and just go and have a drink and a breakfast sandwich. In that time and out. But I couldn't do like large loads of laundry because, you know, I can only carry so much. All right, keep going with this, like with Abby. Just
That's the end of it.
oh, that was it.
That was all of her advice.
One of the machines isn't working well. Inform the board about that, and also
Don't be a
you
bitch.
did nothing wrong.
Yeah, you did nothing wrong, but don't be a bitch about his shit. Like, take some social cognizance. Sorry, it's just this one's not working. Should have waited. Well, I didn't know how long you'd be.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah, just because you don't know how
Lame.
long they'd be, like 5 minutes. That's the minimum. That is the minimum wait time.
Like, all I'm saying is
Like-
the apology, while it probably seems unwarranted, probably would have made things a lot easier.
Yeah. Also, that last line, I don't feel obligated to teach a grown, able-bodied man what entitlement is.
That sounds entitled as
line-
fuck.
Yeah, that is the most entitled sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I completely forgot.
What?
I was going to ask Jables what he did on International Misogyny Day.
Oh, he berated Dina.
Oh, you mean my birthday? I do find it quite hilarious that International Women's Day is on my birthday. I do find that.
I will say this about Dear Abby's response. It really does come across as, I don't want to fucking deal with you.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you, Abby. This person wasn't necessarily in the wrong. They are so cunty that I'd be responding with, go fuck yourself.
Their attitude about it makes them in the wrong. What
Yeah.
they did was not necessarily wrong.
Like I said, they're not technically in the wrong here.
But calling somebody else entitled when you put your hands on their property and moved it to a place that
Yeah.
they did not want so that you could do the things that you wanted to do, and you're calling them entitled because they showed up like 2 minutes later.
Yeah, this entire Dear Abby letter is,
irony.
here's my story, now agree with me.
Yeah. I have a cane. Does that make things better?
It sounds like you had a weapon in the mix.
Yeah. Sure there's not a sword in that cane?
I've got a sword cane around here.
I might have one, or it might just be a machete. I don't know. Yeah, crap. Tell Dina to make you a sandwich on International Women's Day. International Women's Day is past. What I did have is I got a woman to buy me a bottle of whiskey to share with the group. And I got another woman to light a fire for me on International Women's Day. So... And by that, I mean, I was hanging out at my sister's place, and my sister lit a fire. And her friend Ginger came over and was like, oh, it's your birthday? I'm going to go buy a bottle for you. I don't know. I didn't make them do anything. It was just... I just had a good birthday.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we call it good for the day?
Yeah, let's call it good for the day. Thank you, everybody,
Alright.
for joining us. Crab, Y2K, Vampire.
Whoever else joined us, who may not have posted, who knows?
Yeah. High risk footpath. You're a dumb bitch and a fucking scammer and trying to get people to buy views. So fuck you. And yeah.
I've already reported them to
Yourself.
Twitch, so they'll get banned here soon.
Yeah. So
From Twitch, not
yeah.
just from our shit.
Thank you all for joining us. We're gonna go.
I don't know
do
if they
something...
support certain groups.
Huh?
Nothing.
We're not going to get into that on this show.
Yeah, if there's anything you can learn from this episode is that we're racist, we hate women, and go fuck yourself. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.
Bye.